viewers, welcome to this edition of Health Corner. Today we have a consultant, a psychiatrist and a public health specialist who is going to talk to us about some psychoactive substances. Today we have Dr. Chinedu Umeadi to Health Corner. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Dr. Umeadi will tell us about psychoactive substances. If you remember the last week's edition of Health Corner, we had a consultant in emergency medicine who talked about some of the causes of chest pain. And one of the areas he touched was people who use psychoactive substances. So it is good that you are here today because I'm sure viewers will benefit a lot from your vast knowledge around these substances. So today, I understand you're going to talk to us about cannabis and the novel psychoactive substances. So, viewers, I'm sure you would like to listen to Dr. Umeadi. Dr. Umeadi, please, what are psychoactive substances and, what is it that people should know about?
Okay, so psychoactive drug misuse. Psychoactive substances are substances that you use that can bring about psychiatric presentations where people present with unusual experiences. Some people hear voices, see things, behave in very unusual ways. Okay. So any substance that can bring about that is called a psychoactive substance.
Oh, that's where the name comes from.
That's where it came from.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yes. Right. And now, so what are the things people should know about psychoactive substances from your vast experience of working as a consultant in the UK?
I think it's mainly being aware that it's very much around us, right, and that it causes a lot of problems, mental health problems, physical health problems as well. But today I'm going to focus mainly on the problems it causes to your mental health.
Yes.
Yeah. So in talking about this, we go through this outline. So, first of all, start by making a statement about mental health, because there's no health without mental health.
Right.
That's what the WHO tells us. And in a year, about 1 in 4 people will suffer with a mental health problem in the UK. So mental health is everybody's business, and we need to all be very much aware of that. So defining psychoactive drugs, we're talking about any substance that can change the way the brain works and lead to alteration in perception, mood, consciousness, and behavior.
Right.
So that's the definition of it. So about 1 in 12 people aged 16 years to 59 have used a psychoactive drug in the last year. So psychoactive drugs are known to affect people's behavior, mental health, lifestyle, family, friends, and long-term future. So it affects everything, not just the person, but people around them as well. So it's important to be aware of this. But before we go further, today I'm going to focus on mainly cannabis and novel psychoactive substances.
Right.
But I think it's important to kind of outline the different types of drugs that we have. So we have CNS depressants. And when we talk about CNS, we're talking about the central nervous system, which is the system in the body that contains the brain and then the spinal cord. And what it does, it coordinates the body, helps us move, send signals around the body. So it's very important. So CNS depressants, some of the ones we have, things like heroin, benzodiazepines, alcohol, barbiturates, GHB. And it's also important to know the street names. People call it SMAC, people call it BABS, Liquid E. They have different names for them. Then you have CNS stimulants, like cocaine, amphetamine, ecstasy, methamphetamine. Street names, people call it blues, Charlie, E-pill, crystals. Then you have
lots of names,
street names. Young people have all sorts of names for them. You could be there and they will be talking away. You won't have any idea of what they're talking about. Right. So it's important to know, especially for our parents. Parents who to keep an eye on their children as well. Then you have cannabis. Yeah, we're talking about herbal marijuana. We're talking about hashish. The resins as well, and the hash oil. So names for them: hash, weed, puff, spliff, skunk, different names for them. Then hallucinogens, where you have LSD, PCP, and so on. You have names for them as well. Bob, what they call them, bubble and so on. Then of course solvents. These are the volatile stimulants. These are the ones they sniff. And of course the novel psychoactive substances. These are new ones around, and they all have different elements of the groups that I've talked about already.
Right.
So they have different names as well. Things like clockwork orange, spice, mamba, black mamba, and so on. So I'm going to talk more.
These are dangerous names.
They are, and they sell them openly. They used to sell them openly, but no more. So now let's look at some important terms in substance misuse, so that we'll understand how it works generally. So we have what we call reward. And when we say reward, we're talking about the joy we obtain from doing things. You know, the pleasure you gain from participating in any activity. So when you use drugs, cannabis, cocaine, it makes you happy. And because you enjoyed it, you want to do it again.
It's not real happiness.
But it gives them temporary happiness, you know, and anything. So that's what we call the reward pathway, where we have what we call VTA, ventral mental area in the brain, that stores a chemical called dopamine. So the chemical we're talking about is what leads to pleasure. So when you involve yourself in a pleasurable activity, it releases some of these chemicals to the prefrontal cortex, and also the nucleus accumbens.
And these are all areas of the brain.
That brings about the happiness. And then they remember that you enjoyed it, and you keep wanting to do it again.
Right.
So that's the first thing in substance misuse. You know you like this and you enjoy it. Then there's what we call tolerance and neuroadaptation. And it happens in different ways. And that's releasing the effect. And when we talk about tolerance, we're talking about the reduction in the effect you get from using any substance. So it can happen at the receptor. Every chemical in the body has a place in the brain that it plugs in to bring an effect. So maybe because you're getting more of it, the body starts getting very worried.
Right.
And what it does, it could start shutting down so that it won't be taken as much.
Right.
Or it could happen from where the neurochemical is released, where even though you're taking more, you won't be releasing much of those neurochemicals.
Right.
Or it could lead to increased breakdown of the chemical. So these are the three pathways, and that's neuroadaptation. And that's because the body wants to keep you safe even though you're taking a lot. So it's important to remember this. Then withdrawal symptoms. These are the effects people feel from not using the drugs anymore. And that's because of the neuroadaptation. Because your body has adjusted. Maybe, for example, the receptor has closed down a little. Because you're taking a lot. If you now start taking less, the body will be wondering what's going on, I'm not getting more. Then it will try to open. Then you feel a lot of physical symptoms, withdrawal. Then of course, dependence is people continue wanting to use those drugs, even though it's causing them harm. So these are important terms that viewers need to understand about substance misuse. So let's move on to cannabis now. So cannabis is ubiquitous across.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So most commonly used is the most commonly used illicit psychoactive drug in the world. So it's a mild sedative. It has some hallucinogenic effect at high doses. That's you kind of see things that are not there, or hear things that are not, that are not there at high doses. So you find out that over 1/3 of UK adults have actually used cannabis. So it's most commonly used by people in the 16 to 29 year age group, so young people. And you have tetra hydrocannabinol. That's the main substance you see in cannabis. And that's what causes most of the problems with cannabis. So continue with cannabis. So cannabis resins, that's the joint, and that contains about 2 to 6% of THC. Then herbal preparations, that's marijuana. That's it varies widely. With skunk, which is the one people call skunk, it has about 10 to 20%.
That's the processed one, is it?
Yeah. Then you have hash oil, which contains excess of 50% of THC. So that's high dose of it. So most people will smoke it. Then you have people, some people mix it with tobacco. So it can be cooked with food as well. Some people do cook it with food. So these are different ways people use cannabis.
So we now talk about the physical effects. The effects it has on the individual.
It has on the individual. Yeah. So when we talk about short-term effect, so few minutes to 6 hours after inhalation, then you begin to have what we call conjunctival injection and diffusion. That's redness of the eyes. It just
becomes red.
Very red. Then tachycardia, heart starts beating very fast. Some people feel chest pain as well.
Yes, that's
mainly fast heart rate.
Right, so that can cause chest pain.
It can.
It can.
Okay. Then you have increase in blood pressure, increases appetite. Some people feel relaxed. Some people feel a bit sedated. And this is very important. These are some of the things people enjoy. It's not uncommon that in your clinic you see someone who has problems with cannabis and you're talking to them and they tell you, doctor, don't worry, that's not a problem. The problem is I just talk about my mental health. Cannabis is good for me. I relax with cannabis, it helps me sleep. But they don't know
which is
the
not
cumulative
true.
effect is not good for them. Yeah.
So the short-term effects are the ones that happen within hours.
Yes.
Then there's a long-term one.
Yeah. So there's what we call enhanced perceptual awareness. So you suddenly become more aware of things happening around you. You begin to misinterpret things. If a little noise that you just know, maybe the door just shut, you'll be thinking, you start thinking all sorts of things about the door.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that part of the hallucination setting?
That's this one is just heightened perception, not hallucination.
Right. Okay.
But you're reading too much meaning into what's happening. Sensory distortion. Things begin to change. Misunderstand what you're seeing, and it gets people worried. Then you now have the long-term effect. So cannabis, it contains many carcinogens. The carcinogens are things that can cause cancer.
Yes.
So one joint is believed to be about three cigarettes. So that's a lot.
Really?
So we know cigarettes can cause cancer. So if you're smoking cannabis, one joint is just like smoking.
Yes, I know. Someone is coming. We're going to talk about smoking in the nearest future. But
so I'll leave it to you.
Right. Okay. Yes. Viewers, this first segment, Dr. Umeadi has given a very good background about cannabis and the things it can cause on the body, the short-term and the long-term one. Now, we'll take a short break, and then when we're back in the second segment, there's a lot he has to tell us. Stay tuned.
Health Corner on Ben TV by Crystalife is an exclusive show that explains different health conditions which you may not hear from your doctor. Health Corner elucidates your health in simple, understandable language, preventing you from getting ill. It explores different health issues and looks at health practices in the UK and other countries. For the educative and innovative medical show by Crystalife.
Meet Anne. Anne is thinking about sending goods to Africa. Her first thought came to MDS Cargo. Send goods to Nigeria, Ghana, and many more countries in Africa. Excellent customer service and after-sales support. Free London and Essex collection. Online tracking.
Fast Cargo caters for all your door-to-door sea and air cargo services from Nigeria to the UK and UK to Nigeria. With prices from 99p per kilo, you can't go wrong. For prompt, efficient and dependable service, call Fast Tracks Cargo today.
Health Corner on Ben TV by Crystalife is an exclusive show that explains different health conditions which you may not hear from your doctor. Health Corner elucidates your health in simple, understandable language, preventing you from getting ill. It explores different health issues and looks at health practices in the UK and other countries. For the educative and innovative medical show by Crystalife.
Yeah, welcome back to the second segment of this week's Health Corner. Today we're talking about cannabis, and we have a consultant in psychiatry and also a specialist in public health, talking about cannabis and some other psychoactive substances. So, Dr. Umeadi, I know that we just talked about the physical effect of cannabis. Are there any psychological effects and obviously other information we should know about? Yes.
Most definitely, yeah. You know, when you're intoxicated with cannabis, you know, some people can have panic attacks, intense anxiety, with a breath fast shake, think they're going to have a heart attack. They get very paranoid. They think people are after them. They kind of feel they are not their real selves, and where they are, they feel is not real. Then they see things that are not their hallucinations. Then they somehow will have pure psychotic episodes where they have someone usually believes and they're very scared. The longer term effects, we're talking about increased risk of developing schizophrenia. We have studies which have shown that the use of schizophrenia, especially from early years, can increase use of cannabis can increase the risk of schizophrenia by 6-fold, even though some more recent studies have disputed that.
By up to 6-fold?
Yeah, some studies have said up to 2-folds or 4-folds. But what we know, if you have family history of mental health problems, the use of cannabis increases your risk of developing mental health problems.
Right.
Yeah. Then you have if you have a psychotic illness already, and you're using cannabis, it doesn't help. It increases rates of relapse. You're not taking medications, hospital admissions, you're needing higher doses. There's increased violence, and some people will even go complete suicide.
Some people kill themselves.
Yeah. So other effects of cannabis, it's not just an effect on the person. It has wider effect. There's negative effects on the family. People live with you. These it affects them all as well. There's deterioration in social functioning. Difficulty with relationships, low achievement, dropout from school, unemployment, financial difficulties. They get involved with gangs and criminal justice in and out of prison. So these are some of the other problems that happens with cannabis. So some people will develop dependence as well. 1 in 10 people that use cannabis will have.
So they can't do without it.
Yeah, if they don't use cannabis, they become irritable. They don't sleep. Very agitated, and some of them can become violent. Some will have very vivid dreams. So it can be difficult. So if you use cannabis all the time, if you don't use it, if you're one of those that will have withdrawal symptoms, usually worse in the first 2 to 3 days. But usually stops after about 7 to 10 days. So the treatment for cannabis withdrawal is just to treat the symptoms with whatever.
Right. There's the other, briefly, what are the other psychoactive substances?
So these are drugs that mimic the effect of the other drugs. So they're also known as legal highs. And some call them designer drugs. So they have been around since 2008, 2009. Methadone was the first one. Before you will see them in shops, but that's been banned now. So they are now either under the control of the Misuse of Drug Act 1971 or the Psychoactive Substance Act 2016. So they are now illegal. So calling them legal high is not correct.
It's not correct.
Yeah.
It's a misnomer.
It's a misnomer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a misconception generally that they don't cause as much harm as the other drugs.
But they actually do.
But they do. They do. Okay. Yeah. So they are generally manufactured in China, India. People say buy them online now. So if you look at the novel psychoactive substances, they have synthetic cannabinoids. That's the ones that are look like cannabis. So we have spice, clockwise orange, black mamba. We have stimulant types. We have downer tranquilizer, the ones that look like benzodiazepines. Then we have hallucinogenic drugs. So these are all the different types. But the most common will be the stimulant type and the synthetic cannabinoid spice. So And these substances, the key facts, some of the things that people need to know, that the contents are not fully known.
Right, which is
and
dangerous.
that's dangerous. We don't really know what they contain. You're not sure. So many have been untested or only minimally tested in humans.
Yeah.
So the risks associated with them taking them are not fully known.
Yeah. And it has long-term effects as well.
Long-term effect will be, you have you can develop full-blown psychotic illness. That you remain psychotic even if you don't use the drugs.
Some people have ended up being admitted in
psychiatric hospitals, being on antipsychotic. You can develop anxiety disorders. You can become depressed. Psychiatric admissions and so on. So these are some of the, and you can develop dependence as well. Become dependent. Yeah.
On these things.
So other effects, just like I said, the effects of just like cannabis, unemployment, difficulties. So management is a very thorough history. Managing a medical emergency, that's very important. They actually cause more medical emergencies than the usual ones.
Really?
Because at least the other ones, there are clear management plan, and you're seeing the symptoms. But at every point in time, you're seeing different symptoms with this one.
Really?
It's affecting the heart, it's affecting the respiration. So you're managing everything.
It might be affecting the organs as well.
Yes, it's affecting every organ. There could be total organ shutdown.
Really?
That's why people can die very quickly at it. It is more dangerous than people. So you treat any withdrawal symptoms, you have a discussion with the person, refer to substance misuse services, and assess and treat any resistant psychiatric symptoms. Support, one thing that is very important in this, and I can't stop talking about, is support for family.
Yes.
Even though these people have started using drugs, they shouldn't be excluded.
They shouldn't be stigmatized. Yeah, they should be supported.
They should be supported.
And it helps them to stop.
We try and understand why they got involved in this. So psychological therapy is just like cannabis, motivational, cognitive behavioral, and so on.
Right.
So summary, mental health is everybody's business. Psychoactive substances have short and long-term negative effects. The negative effects of psychoactive substances on mental health has wider negative effects on the wider social network of the person and the family.
Okay.
So cannabis continues to be used extensively, and novel psychoactive substances is becoming more used. So there's need for everyone to be aware of this, and also to know how to get help.
And know how to seek help. Yes, I like the last statement. Yes. Anyway, it's been a very rewarding session, Dr. Umeadi. Yes, viewers, you can see a lot of health effects of these psychoactive substances. People who take it should know that it can kill. And a very important point made by Dr. Umeadi today is that families should please support people with this problem. Do not stigmatize them because it doesn't help them, but try and be supportive and help them to quit. So these medications or these drugs can be bought in the street or from everywhere, but know that it is illegal. But it's not just the law side. It has both physical and psychological effect on the health, and it can kill people. So the message today is stay away from this type of drugs. Seek help if you have a problem, and also the family should support the individual to seek help, and do not just stigmatize because it does not help the person. Thank you very much for coming, Dr. Umeadi, and I hope that we'll seek your specialist advice in other areas of mental health. Now, viewers, if you have any question, please look at the number on the screen. Try and contact us by email or text, or we'll refer these difficult ones to Dr. Umeadi. I'm sure he's happy to answer your questions.
Sure.
Right, and we also seek support from people who want to, or organizations that want to partner with Health Corner to keep bringing these shows. Thank you very much for this week. Thank you.
Fast Tracks Cargo caters for all your door-to-door sea and air cargo services from Nigeria to the UK and UK to Nigeria. With prices from 99p per kilo, you can't go wrong. For prompt, efficient and dependable service, call Fast Tracks Cargo today.